I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, and I'm sorry, but if you're one of those adrenaline junkies or thrill seekers that decides to go cave diving or mountain rock climbing, or you want to climb Mount Everest and then you die in the process of doing that, leaving your family behind and traumatized, and then experts need to go retrieve your body. So now you're jeopardizing their lives because people expect the bodies to be retrieved and recovered. I think you have mental issues, seriously. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this, but this is just how I see it. I watch these videos of people, cave diving and climbing Mount Everest. And mind you, climbing Mount Everest takes thousands of dollars. So people save up and train for years. It costs, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000 to climb Mount Everest. And while you're climbing Mount Everest, you're stepping over dead bodies, literally, because thousands of people have died trying to climb Mount Everest. They usually don't make it back. I mean, there's obviously people that have done it and came back, but a lot of people don't make it back. And then you've got like the situation in the Maldives where those 5 cave divers died, which included a mother and daughter combo, total tragedy. They died while cave diving. And in the Maldives, anything under 30 feet requires like technical gear and a permit. And they decided to go below that with just recreational gear. And they died. And mind you, it was like experts too. There was like a marine biologist involved in that the group of 5. And then they sent experts to retrieve the body. And one of the guys that went down there to retrieve the dead bodies died while trying to retrieve them. Like you die, and then people are expecting your body to be recovered, so they die trying to retrieve your body. I think these people have mental issues. This isn't about thrill seeking or adrenaline junkies. I think you just have mental issues, especially if you've got families and shit. Like, why are you doing this stuff? I don't get it. Why do people? Have you guys seen the Nutty Putty Cave? The guy that died. This wasn't like a cave diving type of thing. It was cave diving, but not like water kind. It's like the kind where you just go through regular caves and you wedge yourself between tiny cracks. And he died. I forgot what his name was, but he died. Go look it up. The Nutty Putty Cave. This shit gives me anxiety when I watch it. So he went down. He got wedged upside down. He couldn't back out. And then he just got stuck upside down. And experts tried to retrieve him, but they couldn't. It was too deep and too tight. So he just got stuck upside down and died like that.
I don't know.
Mind you, he had a wife and kids. And I think they sent the phone down there to talk to them while he was dying, literally. And he just died upside down, and they shut the cave off, and they were never able to retrieve his body. They literally sealed it up and cemented it. That gives me anxiety to this day. So if you're one of these experts or adrenaline junkies or thrill seekers that's like, oh, I love doing this because it gives me a reason to live. Or how about the people that go rock climbing and then they'll get to the top of like this very, very high mountain, and it's like at a 90-degree angle, and they'll literally insert 2 hooks, one on each end, and then a hammock, and then they'll just sleep there overnight. And then they'll get up in the morning with their buddies who are sleeping. Yeah, bro, at this point, I really think it's just a mental issue. This isn't about seeking adrenaline or thrill seeking or, looking for a reason to live. Like, motherfucker, you want a reason to live. You got family. You got people that care about you. Go do something else.
5 Italian cave divers in the Maldives, all 5 dead. 4 of them got off of the boat and went to do their cave diving and to do their scuba diving and never resurfaced. So a military rescue diver dives in to try to recover them, dies as well. And this is what the fuck I mean when I say that this is a mental illness. Because you're not only putting your life at risk, now people have to rescue you and they're also dying. It's a mental disorder. And I'm just going to get right to the point. I'm sorry, because there's people on Daily Mail's page in the comments saying, you guys are really insensitive. Commenters are insensitive. We've seen the Titan submersible. We know how this story fucking ends every time, and y'all do it every time. But the commenters are insensitive. But you want to put your life and other people's lives at risk for a fucking hobby. High risk, no reward. It's a mental disorder. They like doing this shit so that they can feel like they're on the edge of death. The reason they even went to the Maldives is because they knew that there was this cave that had these depths. The rule is it's prohibited to go below 30 meters. They went 20. That's why they didn't take a guide with them. And this whole adrenaline junkie, you didn't even use a rope. That if you got disoriented below 30, which you fucking will, and then you lose oxygen, you can use the rope to help you get to the top. They refused. They didn't want to. Oh, it's like taking the training wheels off. We're not using a rope. Mental disorder. These are the same people that climb Everest every year. And on their way to the top, on their way to the summit, you see bodies of yesteryear everywhere that did the same thing you're trying to do now. Dead, perished. You still pay to do it every year. Because you like that. You like that feeling. Oh my God, these people are dead. Well, I'm going to make it to the top. Do you one better? The ones that mountain climb, right? With just their hands and their shoes, and they'll be attached to ropes and things like that. But when they get up the mountain, they sit in those hammocks all the way at the top of these mountains, and they sit in these hammocks for days. I call it the David Carradine syndrome, the David Carradine illness. And if you don't know who that is and what he did, you're going to have to look it up.
I don't know what these people usually take before they go on these extreme sports. Like, you're already jeopardizing your life and the lives of people that will come and try to rescue you, because it's not making sense to me. Like, why people would want to put themselves in these extremely dangerous places. Like, what are you thinking? Not to even mention that they weren't well prepared. Like, it doesn't even make sense. And the fact that one of the rescuers that went to save them died, it's crazy. I don't know, guys. Please drop your thoughts in the comment. Why do you think people go, or why do you think this lover of extreme sports keep doing the same thing? Meanwhile, they know that their chances of dying is almost 89%. Like, I don't get it. Please drop your thoughts in the comments.
This story just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Check this out. 5 Italian tourists died scuba diving in an underwater cave in the Maldives. They were in the most popular scuba diving spot, and at around 1:45 p.m., marine biologist Professor Monica Montefalcone, her 20-year-old daughter, Muriel, Federico, and Gianluca all failed to resurface. But here's where it gets weird. 4 bodies are still missing. So the Coast Guard decided to go down and search for the bodies himself. He went about 200 feet deep, and he too ended up dying. It says the sergeant major quickly became sick and he was rushed to the hospital and didn't survive. They ruled his death underwater decompression sickness, but the death of the 5 divers is still unknown. The husband of the professor who died says something must have happened down there in the cave because his wife was too experienced of a diver to have taken risks. She wouldn't have endangered her daughter or others with them. Authorities are saying this was probably just oxygen sickness and panic, but recovery teams already explored 2 of the 3 chambers of the caves. They're going to explore the 3rd one today on Saturday, so if we get any updates, I'll be sure to keep you guys.
How did 5 experienced divers vanish during a deep-sea expedition in the Maldives this week? Here's what investigators think may have happened. The group, made up of marine biologists, diving instructors, and experienced scuba divers, descended nearly 200 feet underwater into a cave system near one of the Maldives' most popular dive spots, but none of them ever resurfaced. So how does something like this happen to trained professionals? Investigators believe the group may have become disoriented inside the underwater caves after rough weather reduced visibility. At those depths, even a small mistake can turn deadly fast. Experts say panic inside a cave system can stir up sediment, turning the water cloudy and making it almost impossible to see an exit. And because cave divers can't swim directly to the surface, getting lost underwater can quickly lead to divers running out of air. Authorities are also investigating whether oxygen toxicity may have played a role, where the gas mixture inside a scuba tank becomes dangerous at extreme depths, potentially causing confusion, seizures, or blackouts underwater. Officials are also reportedly investigating whether the group entered the cave without a required local guide, and whether they were using a safety rope designed to help divers find their way back out. So far, rescue teams have recovered 1 body from inside the cave system, and authorities believe the other 4 divers are still inside the same underwater cave, around 200 feet below the surface. 1 diver survived simply because she never entered the water, and now officials say this could become one of the deadliest diving tragedies in Maldives.
Is it possible that they were pulled down by a current? Not a dumb question at all, because the currents in the ocean can be very, very strong, and that is often a risk when diving next to a wall. Like I believe they were. There was a big wall with a drop off. But I'll show you a map. So this is where they were diving, and if you can see that little yellow box, that's the cave entrance. So while, yes, it's possible that a current could pull somebody down, could pull somebody and slam them into a wall, and I heard there were warnings about the weather and the conditions in the Maldives that day. 55, right? Is that what it says? 55 to 58 meters. That's over 170 feet. Over 170, 180 feet just at the entrance. And the recreational and commercial limits by law in the Maldives are like 100 feet. So even by going to the entrance of the cave, they're breaking the law. And what tells me that it was their plan is that the other girl that was with them who decided not to go, she was a very experienced diver. So my gut tells me if this was just going to be a normal funsy dive, why didn't she go? And did she know that they were planning to do this risky dive, and that's why she backed out? I don't know. We're still waiting on a lot of details, but the reason I don't think that it was a current is because look at this map here. That's the first chamber of the cave once you get into the entrance. That's the second, and that's the third. The third was largely unexplored. Like, nobody had truly explored the third chamber because they hadn't made it into there. And these are pretty skinny passageways, and all 4 of the bodies were found in this third chamber. So even with a current, if a current pulled them down or threw them into a wall, I don't think it's likely that a current would have pulled all 4 of the bodies through these very skinny tunnels all the way to this third unexplored chamber. I don't see that being likely, if even possible. So very, very sad, but a great question, because that was up for debate, was the currents and what was happening. But yeah, I think it was just reckless, poor decision making. I think they swam into this cave and either passed out, had decompression illness, had nitrogen narcosis, oxygen toxicity. There's so many things that could have gone wrong, right? Sediment kicked up, they got trapped, couldn't find their way out, but that's where they were found. It was all the way down and then all the way in. So really tragic.
All right, cave divers, come here real quick. What on earth makes you want to go past this sign with the Grim Reaper when you're diving deep in a cave where there's no way out? Why do y'all go past this sign? It's the Grim Reaper. Why do y'all do it? The sign says stop, prevent your death, go no farther. More than 300 divers, including open water scuba instructors, have died in caves just like this one. Why do you want to go farther? You want to prove that you're better than them? You need training to dive. You need cave training and cave equipment to cave dive. There are some people who go cave diving and don't have none of that. They just have a scuba tank and just find a dark hole and climb in it. It's just fact. Without cave training and cave equipment, divers can die right here. Right here. That's why the sign is up. It can happen to you. There is nothing in this cave worth dying for. Do not go beyond this point. And the fact that more than 300 divers have passed away shows you that people just see this sign as a damn checkpoint. This is a checkpoint right here. This is not a stop sign. This is a yield sign. This is a get some meds sign or something like that.
How did 5 experienced divers vanish during a deep-sea expedition in the Maldives this week? Here's what investigators think may have happened. The group, made up of marine biologists, diving instructors, and experienced scuba divers, descended nearly 200 feet underwater into a cave system near one of the Maldives' most popular dive spots, but none of them ever resurfaced. So how does something like this happen to trained professionals? Investigators believe the group may have become disoriented inside the underwater caves after rough weather reduced visibility. At those depths, even a small mistake can turn deadly fast. Experts say panic inside a cave system can stir up sediment, turning the water cloudy and making it almost impossible to see an exit. And because cave divers can't swim directly to the surface, getting lost underwater can quickly lead to divers running out of air. So far, rescue teams have recovered 1 body from inside the cave system, and authorities believe the other 4 divers are still inside the same underwater cave, around 200 feet below the surface. 1 diver survived simply because she never entered the water.
So 5 people entered one of the most dangerous underwater cave systems in the world, with the wrong equipment, without authorization, beyond the legal depth limit, and nobody stopped them. A Maldives military rescue diver then went in to recover the bodies. He died too. Here's the full update as of today. 5 Italian divers went into an underwater cave at Vavu Atoll on May 14th, 55 meters deep, pitch black, narrow passages connecting 3 separate chambers. None of them came back up, including a marine biology professor, her own daughter, 2 of their university colleagues, and their diving instructor. Only 1 body has been recovered so far, the instructor, found near the cave entrance. The other 4 are still inside that cave right now. And here's what nobody told you. They went in with recreational diving gear, not technical cave equipment, for a cave that experts say even the most experienced divers don't attempt. The tour operator running the boat has now publicly stated they never authorized this dive. 4 bodies still inside, families demanding answers, and the one woman who decided not to dive at the last second is now helping investigators.
So that's actually a fascinating question. Will they ever find the bodies? So I'm a recovery diver. Like, I get paid to go look for phones and go look for random things, right? The problem with looking for things is that I don't actually know where they are, right? Like, I have to make an assumption that you dropped your phone right next to the dock where you said you dropped it, but I've also been in the water for like 15 minutes looking for the phone because it wasn't actually where you said it was. So the problem with this particular dive is like, well, you're 160 feet into the ocean, like depth, so you got time limitations, so you only have a finite amount of time to go look. Like, you can't just go, well, I'm going to be down here for hours and hours. No, you've got like 15 minutes, right? So if the body isn't where you think it is, this could take a while, right? And you're kind of assuming the body's in the cave. What if it's not in the cave? Like, what if there's some kind of current that took them away and they're over there somewhere?